My name is Vijay Kumar. I'm the executive chef and partner at Sema in New York City. Today we're going to turn all these ingredients into 5 different types of rice and lentil based Southern Indian dishes. India has one of the oldest culture and culinary tradition in the world. Some of the dishes that we are going to be making today has been made for hundreds and hundreds of years. The first thing we're going to do is make the batter for Gunpowder Dosa. So this is rice, that's lentils. So dosa is like a thin crepe made out of fermented rice and lentil batter. At Sema, we're trying to cook the food that most of the Western countries have not seen so far. There are a lot more than chicken tikka masala and butter naan. So the dishes that we're going to be making today are Southern Indian comfort food. When someone comes to a restaurant, they should feel like, oh, this is exactly I grew up eating it. These are the dishes that my mom and grandma used to make for me. I just want to bring back childhood memories. So I'm going to add the rice first because it's going to take a little longer to get blended. You can find dosas in every single households and even in streets in India too. We grow a lot of rices in southern India. So that's why most of our dishes consist of rice and lentils. When it's halfway done, then I'll add the lentils. You make sure you don't blend them too much, you just make sure that it has a little bit of grainy texture. As a kid, I always helping my mom in the kitchen. So I think I was in the 8th grade or something when I was making my first dosas. I ruined it so bad. It took me a while to practice it. I'm sure I would have made at least like 50,000 of dosas, at least. You have to let it be in the room temperature for minimum 6 hours. Once it's fermented, then dosa is ready to make. If you make it too liquid, it's very hard to make dosa. So you have to be very careful with the consistency. Kind of like a pancake kind of consistency. The batter is ready. Now it's a time to make dosas. So tawa is like iron girdle. When you sprinkle the water, you can see the sizzling. So that means it has the right amount of temperature. Just pour a little batter. Just spread them as thin as possible. There's a stainless steel cup. It's called katori. That's a cup that I use to spread the dosa batter on the griddle. Sprinkle some ghee on it. Ghee is a clarified butter. Sprinkle some gunpowder. So gunpowder is actually, in Tamil we call it milagai podi, which is a ground lentils and chilies. And add some potato masala in the middle. Basically, it's a potatoes which has like mustard seeds and ginger, red chilies and lentils, curry leaves. You just mix all the spices and potatoes together, then you get a very aromatic, fragrant spiced potatoes. And then you can just fold them any preferable shape that you want. I prefer to fold them in a triangle, so that way it stays hot, because dosa is enjoyable when it's hot and crispy. Let's start plating it. You can eat them with any chutneys. At Sema, we actually serve the gunpowder dosa with sambar and tomatoes and coconut chutneys. Now we're done with dosas. It's a time to make uttappam now. Uttappam is a thick pancake which is made out of fermented rice and lentil batter. It is the same batter as dosa actually. It's just the thickness of the dosa and uttappam is different. So I'm just going to take like 3/4 of the batter. I'm trying not to spread it as thin as like how I did for dosas, so it has some like kind of pancake kind of thickness. So it's traditionally we make uttappam with onions and tomatoes and chilies and cilantros. You can use any types of vegetables that you like, also some gunpowders. Actually, I took this gunpowder recipe from my sister. Every household makes a different variations. It's the same ingredients, but the proportions and the ratios are a little different. Basically, I don't want to see any batter. I just want to like fill up the uttappam with all the vegetables. Sema, we try to keep the uttappam a little bit like seasonally, and we try to switch the vegetables based on the season. I cook them evenly on both sides. So I'm actually making a hole to cook the uttappam nicely inside. You can also make the uttappam without vegetables, which has the same texture as uttappam, and then they called kal dosa. You just have to wait at least like a couple of minutes to make sure you get the golden color. It comes with experience. I mean, if you leave it too long, it's gonna get burnt. So you have to make sure in the right time. Or if you flip it too early also, the vegetable won't stick to uttappam. So you have to make sure you take in the right time. I also serve the Uttappam with sambar and tomato coconut chutneys. Let's make the idli next. Idli is steamed rice cake. We would need rice and lentils to make the batter, but to make the idli we need a different types of rice, which is idli rice. It's a very tiny short grained rice. We are also going to add fenugreek seeds to that. It's the same exact pretty much procedure as dosa batter. So we're going to soak the rice, lentils and fenugreek seeds minimum 6 hours. Idli is typically a breakfast dish, but I would eat like 3 times a day. Like it's idlis are known for being really soft. To make it soft, you have to have the perfect ratio of the rice and lentils. Fenugreek seeds gives nice flavor to the batter. Once the rice and lentils been soaked, and then we're gonna rinse them off, then we're just gonna blend it. We're gonna add a little water, blend it. Once lentils is blended halfway through, then you add the rice. Now I'm gonna blend the rice and dal. Dal is a name for lentils. You can add the fenugreek seeds when you add the lentils. Some people say that adding salt before the fermentation will slow down the fermentation. I feel like yes, salt may add a little different, but the very important thing is room temperature play a major role in the fermentation. Now the batter is blended. I'm going to set it aside to ferment. So I just want to make sure the idli doesn't get stuck in the pan. So I use the muslin cloth. I sprinkle a little bit of water, then add the batter to the pan. People have been making idlis for years. We don't know exactly when did they start making it, but I can say for sure it's been like one of the oldest food on the planet. Every household will have the idli steamer, Paniyaram chatti and dosa griddle. Every household will have it. The idli batter may rise when it's cooked. So you just add like right amount of batter to just fill up the hole. When you add too much, it's going to change the shape. We are steaming the idli, so we don't really need too much water. Just enough to get the steam. It'll cook about like 10 minutes. So once it's cooked, turn the flame off. Just let it rest for like few more minutes. So it will cook all the way through. It'll whistle once the steamer is ready. That means it's indication that your idli is steamed. So I just want to make sure the idli is cooked all the way through. So I just want to test it before I remove from the steamer. So if anything stuck to the skewer, I know it's not cooked enough, then we have to cook it again. The skewer is clean, so I know it's cooked. Before you demold it, you're going to sprinkle some water to make sure the idli is not sticking to the pan. And then remove the muslin cloth gently. If you go to restaurants, we used to have a huge idli steamer where you could make like at least 120 idlis at the same time. Traditionally, they serve them with sambar and tomatoes and coconut chutneys, and you can also be eaten with any types of gravies too. Like you can eat them with some chicken gravy, some mutton gravies, and any gravies. So idli goes very well with like any types of gravies. Next, we'll make Paniyaram. So Paniyaram is a very popular Southern Indian snack, or like it can be a breakfast item, which is made out of either idli batter or dosa batter. Paniyaram is actually one of my favorite snack. To make the Paniyaram batter, I took some idli batter and added some chopped onions, chopped green chilies, chopped curry leaves, some grated coconut, and some mustard seeds, and asafoetida. Asafoetida is one of the spices that you can find a lot in Indian cooking. And some chopped ginger and red chilies tadaka. Also it's called tempering, which is mustard seeds and red chilies and curry leaves. You just mix all the ingredients together with the idli batter. Mix. I also like to add a little cilantro. To make the Paniyaram, we're going to use this Paniyaram chatti, which is like a cast iron pan. The pan has to be hot enough to get the golden color. If it is too hot, it will burn. If it is too low, you won't get the golden color. It is definitely popular in Southern India. You can find in all like Southern Indian homes, in the restaurants or in the street food. Like you can find them everywhere. Every time my mom used to make it, she always woke us up in the morning when she started cooking it because she wants to make sure we sit right next to the stove when Paniyaram comes out of the pan. She wants to make sure we eat them when it's hot and fresh. I'm just going to use a skewer to flip it so that way it cooked all the way through. Every Southern Indian house will have the Paniyaram pan and also Dosa pan. I'm serving this Paniyaram with spicy coconut chutney. That's how you make the Paniyaram. Now let's make the Idiyappam. Idiyappam is also called string hopper. It's basically a rice noodles. To make the Idiyappam, we have to make the Idiyappam dough first. The Idiyappam dough is made out of rice flour, coconut milk, little bit of water and salt. So I know Idiyappam, it's like a noodles, but we eat them with some vegetable stew or meat gravies, or you can even eat them as a sweet and coconut milk also. To make a dough, we have to make sure we mix all the ingredients together and then make the dough as tight as possible. Since we have to press them into noodles, it has to have that pasta dough texture. This is called Idiyappam maker or Idiyappam press. So you have to make sure you spread them equally. So I'm using the same idli steamer to steam the Idiyappam as well. Pretty much same technique that we did for the idlis. Add water to the steamer, then add the pressed noodles in the steamer, then steam it for about 7 to 8 minutes. When I say noodles, let's not expect real noodles. So they're not going to literally fall apart, they're going to stick together. Once the steam is coming off, that means the indication it's almost ready. Rice flour doesn't have the gluten like your wheat flour, so that's why it has a smooth consistency and smooth texture. You can eat this Idiyappam with any vegetable stew or any aromatic gravies. Take a piece out of it and dip in the gravies and eat it. That's how you make 5 rice and lentil based Southern Indian dishes.